Okay, we're getting connected. So looks like it's working. Awesome. Okay, I think we're live.
All right.
At least according to my Restream account, we're live. Let's see. Yep, there we are. We're on the Facebook. All right, cool. Well, Audrey, welcome. Thank you so much for your time today, and really admire what you guys do at Five Loaves. I know you guys do things. I think most of us are aware of your food pantry and such, but there's a lot more ministry that you guys are involved in, and ways that you serve not just folks in our community, but even I saw that you guys are involved in some international stuff as well. And so I just wanted to take some time with you today to get to know you a little bit, get to know Five Loaves, and just the different ways you guys are doing ministry, serving our community. So I know I told you before we got this started that I'm relatively new to the community, and so a lot of this is for my own benefit. But I know there's a lot of people out there as well who maybe aren't super familiar with you or with Five Loaves, and so why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about who you are and how you got connected with this type of work.
Okay. Well, of course, I'm Audrey Wallace, and kind of started uh, 6 years ago now. Went on a mission trip to Honduras. Is how Five Loaves got really kind of got started. That's the main part. So we went to Honduras on a mission trip, and we were there a week. And I didn't, I just thought, okay, we're going to go over there. We're going to build a house. We're going to work with some kids, and then I'm going to come back and be all fuzzy warm. And
Yeah.
yeah, well, I wasn't so fuzzy warm when I got back. I was really
Really?
sad at the lifestyle that they have to live. When we think of building a house, their version of a house is totally different from ours. On Magote, where we were, they, some of them just go chip out a piece of rock on the mountain and pick up any kind of aluminum or anything they can along the way, and that becomes their house. If they get to build a home, if somebody actually helps them build one, it's our version of where we would put cattle almost, but with no floor. So there's no, you literally take a chainsaw and cut out a window, and that's your window, and then do the same thing for a door, and that's your door. There's no running water. There's no electricity. There's no floor. So when it rains on the mountain, the water runs straight through your house. It's, their sewer systems run through their streets. They have, it's really extremely sad there. The poverty is just a way of life almost for them. But we went to a boys' home, and we spent some time there. All these boys came to them. They were either abandoned or given up at birth, or just left on the street to fend for themselves. And so they ended up in this home, and they go to school, they go to church, they learn there. And that was an awesome experience in itself. But everything is, run by the cartel in Honduras. And so it's extremely hard for people to get jobs, for people to get food. I was talking to them not too long ago when we were on being stuck at home. They were literally on lockdown, and they're allowed out of their house 1 hour a week, period, to get food. But you have no job and you have no money. So how are you going to get food?
Right.
But anyway, fast forward, I come back home, and I started feeling like I needed to do something. I felt like I needed to, make a difference, but I didn't live in Honduras, so I certainly
Right.
couldn't do that. And then, of course, I go to North Point Church of Christ here in Sachse. And one of the ladies in the benevolence asked me if I would mind taking that program over. And I said, well, I don't know, what does it entail? Because we always got to know.
Right.
And she's like, well, you might just, get a few phone calls, or, a few here, a few there, or something. Maybe somebody that needs help, or, they might need some food, or that, just nothing really big. I said, oh, that's no big deal. Or you might, plan meals for a funeral or whatever. I was like, I can do that. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, immediately the church office started getting phone calls, and I started delivering food. And so then I realized, I was like, it was here in the community. And I was like, there's a need.
Wow.
Here's a need. And so I asked them for a few shelves to put some canned goods on. And so the ministry house that we work out of now belongs to the church. And in it, they had like quilting women, and youth group met here, homeschoolers met here. There was a library in here. I mean, this house was packed with stuff and people. And they said, yeah, you can have a few shelves. And so anyway, yeah. And so we did. We literally had about 6 shelves I kept canned goods on, and then I would go to the grocery store and get the rest of the food that I needed to take to these people that needed food.
Right.
And that went on for a little while, and little by little, I started taking over and getting more shelves and more room, and I was like, man, this is getting kind of, a little bit bigger here. So I started, had more room and coming in, and then I would get up real early in the morning and go to this grocery store, and I would pick up milk, and kind of fast forward that to a couple of years later. We formed our own 501c3. We opened up a nonprofit, kind of separated that part from the church, and continued to work out of this space. And now we have the whole entire house. Wow. We have their garage, 2 storage sheds out back.
Yeah, a little more than a few shelves now, huh?
Yes, quite a bit. But
that's awesome.
God's moved, and he allowed, just allowed us to grow and become our own entity, and just become a community pantry. And so I was just talking to somebody yesterday. I said, we literally have like 16 or 17 different churches, and like 9 or 10 different organizations that come and help, and be it monetary, or be it with food or volunteering, and it's amazing. I get to see this.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. So this is actually a pretty fascinating story here, because I didn't know basically anything that you just said. That was all news to me. But you went on a short-term mission trip to the Honduras, and that's where God began to form this desire to help under-resourced people get resourced, is what I heard you say. And had you been on short-term mission trips prior to that trip?
One time in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing, because sure, I try to encourage people to go on short-term trips when they're available, and I've been on several myself, and I know that it's a life-changing experience. We go wanting to make an impact and to make a positive contribution to people, but I think so much is exposed to us about ourselves and the way we live, and how privileged and blessed we are compared to the way so many people live throughout the world. And honestly, I just think it's such a unique way that God really breaks people's hearts for ministry that he's prepared for them. Yeah. So that is great. And then another thing you said that stuck out to me was that somebody asked you, it's another kind of piece of the puzzle here. Somebody asked you to serve in benevolence in the church. And was that something, I mean, it's interesting when I talk with people about spiritual gifts, and one of the things that we talk about a lot at First Sachse is that ministry is accomplished by people, not professionals. And so everybody's gifted by God to serve the body and serve people. But people don't always know how they're gifted. And sometimes that keeps people from serving in different capacities. So I'm curious, when you were asked to serve in that area over benevolence, was that an area that you had seen yourself in before, or was that
No.
just totally off your
No,
radar, huh?
no, it was not an area I had saw myself in before. It was really kind of interesting. But then it just it took off, and it just became,
Yeah.
I mean, I just have this desire to serve.
Right.
And
Yeah.
regardless of, it's almost like a whatever it takes type of thing. You know, I know that we're live, and I don't want to interrupt this, but do you want to go in here with me and see what these people are doing?
Yeah, show us. We'd love to see that.
I know this is crazy, because so they said they were coming over. I don't know what they're doing, but I am going to go in here because they're not going to leave until I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you're coming with me, okay?
Go for it. Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, guys, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm live here, so I'm going to put you guys up here.
We're live. Okay. Let's go live.
So let's see what we're going to do here, if I can get everybody in here. Can you see?
So who are we talking to?
Hey, everybody. My name's Jared, and I'm the lead pastor over at First Sachse, and had an opportunity today to chat with Audrey, let people know about Five Loaves, what's happening over there, how the community's being served and resourced. And so we're just hanging out doing a live stream right now, and you guys got to crash the party. So, hey.
Boom. All right.
No better time. This is awesome. I love it.
That's right.
Perfect. So we have, I have some mail.
I love
this is just
mail.
mail. Miss Smith, one of your.
Oh, okay.
So she's my neighbor in real life,
Oh,
and she's like,
okay.
"Oh, Todd, just hit this to Audrey, it'll be fine." So
Okay.
breaking news.
And we
you can
have
the-
real treats.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Look, I got nothing but cake.
Oh, hey, those are bundt
This
cakes.
is awesome. Yay.
And Audrey, I love that you're FaceTiming with one of our local pastors. My name's Todd. I'm from Chase Oaks, Woodbridge, right across the street over
Yes.
there. And I love how as a community we can all just work together on things. And I love how
Absolutely.
Five Loaves is absolutely like a here for good ministry. You are here to do good things. You are here for good in our community. And Chase Oaks is a here for good church. And we just wanted to come along and support you a little bit financially right now.
Awesome.
So
Can I open this?
yeah,
This is
you can open
exciting.
it.
Absolutely. I love
I
that.
love this. This is awesome. You guys have no idea. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can,
You have
yeah.
no idea. I have had a horrible day. It's
Aw.
not that it's been bad. It's just that I kind of reached my point where I'm really, really tired.
Mm.
And so I was just like, I just want this day to be over. And this is like the best thing ever. Not that but that you got.
I don't stand the not hugging business.
That I mean, not that serving makes it is worth it, but in ministry, you just get tired sometimes. You just get overwhelmed. You get, dragged down. You get beaten. And then, every day I just get up and I was like, man, I just can't go today. I literally was late and I'm the boss.
I think we all experience that sometimes.
Absolutely.
Wow. So, no, it's so this is the check for $10,000.
Oh my goodness. Praise
awesome.
God. Wow.
Feed lots of people.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Audrey, you take things and you multiply them, just like the name Five Loaves and what that story is all about. Just hearing how you talk about how some days it's tough to get up and some days you're tired. And it's so cool that we got to be here for this moment, but that you got another pastor
Yeah.
from another church here in this moment. And like when we get tired, like we're not alone. And never forget that you are not alone in this. Not only do you have us here as a team in your community with several churches that just love you, that we're here for good with you, but God's here with you. And I just really appreciate what you're doing.
I know.
Thank y'all so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Love y'all.
Love you too.
Man, that is awesome. That is
Sorry
awesome.
to crash your Facebook.
Hey,
Live.
that's awesome. So you guys are from Woodbridge campus, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're neighbors, man. Proud to be your neighbor. So thankful for all the great things you guys are doing to serve the Lord.
I love it, man. I'm proud to be your neighbor too. Let's get together for a cup of coffee, man, and some lunch real quick.
5 Loaves Coffee.
Definitely.
5 loaves.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Sure. All right, I know
Thanks.
you're busy.
Love y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Put those in the fridge.
I will. Thank y'all. Bye.
Wow, that was awesome. And
Wasn't
it's
that great?
amazing, you know,
Thank you.
what a
Wow.
blessing after a tough day to have a surprise visit like that. That's uplifting for sure. God's looking out for you. That's awesome. Wow.
Right.
Man, I hear you though. You know, it is, that's one of the things I was wanting to mention to you about just how I admire how you guys are navigating just the difficulties of doing what you do during this time with COVID-19 and all. And so I totally get it. And, you know, it's something that, you know, I have to be reminded of often is that what we're doing requires hard work and sacrifice, but we're serving people in the name of Jesus. We're laying up treasure in heaven. And this is work that endures, and you couldn't do anything more meaningful with your life than work that's going to endure forever. And so really grateful for you and what you're doing over there. And man, praise God for that. What an uplifting thing to have right now. So
Yeah, that was awesome. That was
Yeah.
really awesome. You know, it really has taken on a different face this time of with the you know, pandemic, with how we do things, and it does become challenging. First of all, the weather is changing. And so when it's gets into the 80s and 90s and you put a mask on and you stand in the sun for a couple of hours,
ooh,
it's hard.
no doubt.
You have gloves on and you're sweating. So your palms are sweating, literally sweats running down your hands,
Oh yeah.
you know? But so it takes on a different, you know, we went from letting people come in to serving them coffee and donuts and speaking to them and talking to them and seeing how they're doing, to all of a sudden they're driving through and getting a box of food. So we're trying to still check on them. You know, we're trying to call our seniors and check on them and deliver food if we want to, if they need it. I mean, but some of the other things that we've taken on, and it's just because there was a need. And God has always blessed us with the food and the ability to get it out to other people. So not only just our clients can come to us that need people that need food, but so one of the things that we've always done is we've fed the people at South Fork Mobile Home Park. And when they closed their offices, we couldn't do that. So I was like, it really bothered me, because just a little bit of help sometimes goes a long way for them.
Right.
So when I heard that the Baptist Church in Wiley was going to pick that up and they were going to start feeding in all the mobile home parks, you know, I said, hey, how can I help you guys? They said, well, we need some soup and we need this. And so for weeks, I helped. If we had it, I gave it to them. Matter of fact, they're over there at Community Barbecue picking up yogurt out of their cooler that we have stashed over there.
Wow.
Matter of fact, right now they just messaged me.
Yeah.
But
so what is your relationship with Community Barbecue? Because I know when we did the food drive on Easter, they brought food and blessed the folks who were volunteering to make that happen.
Well, actually, they're just in the community. So actually, Five Loaves, I purchased the food. I purchased the food.
Oh, did you really? Wow. Well,
I
thank
went
you.
with you guys to have lunch.
Yeah.
And I did it with Community Barbecue because they're one of our partners here in Sachse,
Awesome.
and they're working with the program called Team Up to Fight Hunger.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that program actually is um, with the and I'm gonna hack it up probably, but I hope not. But the Wiley EDC and the Sachse EDC, they've gotten together along with some restaurants and the nonprofits like myself, the Christian Care Center in Wiley and Amazing Grace in Wiley. And they said, hey, let's do this program because we were having a hard time getting food supply. But restaurants don't have a hard time getting, it's a totally different chain.
Right. Yeah.
So they said, hey, you want to order from us? Community Barbecue placed a food order for us to get food. And they said, we have room in our coolers if you want to use our coolers.
Wow.
I know it was nice because then we needed them and we still have stuff over there. So,
Yeah.
but so what they do is they do a voucher, and it might be a $40 worth of food, but they're going to give it to us for $25.
Wow.
And so we give this voucher to families that come through the pantry. So not only are they getting a meal for a family of 4, a hot meal that they can take home, they're getting fed. The restaurants are getting some money and getting revenue and getting, hopefully that's helping them.
Right.
And it's a kind of a win-win, for
Wow.
everybody. So
Yeah.
so we formed Team Up to Fight Hunger, and it's got its own account, and we're raising money, doing fundraiser for it. So the funds that are going into that are going straight to feed people and help the restaurants, the local restaurants. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
I had no idea about that. I love that.
well, it's just, it's really cool. It's rolling out. So we're hoping to get more restaurants in Sachse. Of course, Community Barbecue is on board, and I think we were talking to a couple of more right now.
Wow.
And that's going to help them because they're 25%, even if they open up their doors, is not going to be a lot, but at least this will help.
Absolutely. So this is I just want to share real quick. So I've got comments coming in from Facebook and YouTube while we're chatting, and I asked some folks to share encouraging word with you. And Amy Hemler says, thank you for all that you do for our community. Kaylee's just really, she says she loves seeing how all the people in our community are serving together. And I want to second that 100%. I mean, it is to have local businesses, local churches, all of these organizations coming together. We're in a crisis right now. And when you're in crisis, I feel like the natural inclination a person has is to take care of yourself, and to see all of these different components of our community coming together to take care of one another. I mean, that's incredible. And then Marion Poole, when you were getting your gift, she said she's crying with joy for you guys. That's amazing. And really, I want to say thank you for bringing us into the room with you, because what a special moment to share with us. So thank you so much for that. So I want to go back real quick to what we were talking about earlier. So you went on this short-term trip. God really began to break your heart for serving others, but then somebody asked you to serve in an area of ministry that you had never really considered before, and you said yes for whatever reason, and probably because you felt God leading you into that ministry. But I just think it's an incredible story because, like I said earlier, I mean, I really do believe, ministry is accomplished by people, not professionals, and everybody's gifted to serve, and God has a way for every follower of Jesus to influence and impact people around us positively. And to hear your story of this short-term trip and then just saying yes to a service opportunity in the local church, and how God has used your obedience, your willingness to follow his leadership to create all of the things that we're seeing now. That's an incredible story. That's amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I got a few more questions for you. So I know that Five Loaves serves the community in a lot of different ways. Well, before we get more into that, what areas does Five Loaves actually serve? I went on your site and I saw that I think it's beyond just the Sachse area. Is that right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So where are you guys serving folks?
We serve people from Dallas, Mesquite. Now, these are actually people that we've had come through. Dallas, Mesquite, of course, Wiley, Sachse, Garland, Murphy, Rowlett. I've had them from Rockwall, Fate, Levon, Nevada, Richardson. I don't like putting a zip code on it. And the reason I don't is because if you need food, you need food. If you need food and you live in Dallas and you're willing to drive here to get food, you probably really need food.
Yeah.
You know, now we vet them through a process. So everybody's, it's not just like, woohoo, here you go.
Sure.
But we're a diaper bank as well. And so for those people that come from far away, sometimes they just come, they might want diapers and wipes and baby formula, but they can also look at the cute thing.
This is my daughter Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
This is COVID-19 ministry right here. Kids, they just pop on in whenever they want, and
That's okay.
What you got there? What you got? You drew a picture. She's been making these. What is it, baby? Is it present? And then what? Wow.
All right.
Watching all the things. Hey, baby, I'll catch up with you when I'm done. Okay. Watching all the things that my kids are doing with they're doing school at home, and then of course they have things that we didn't have, like YouTube. I love it, man. They're learning so many things. She's been drawing all these pictures, painting things, just all kinds of stuff, and it's she's learning from YouTube and whatnot. It's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways, diaper bank. So I saw that you guys serve families in need once a month. That's huge. My wife and I have 4 kids, and we had 2 sets of twins, and they're like 2 years apart. So there was a season where, I don't know, an ungodly percentage of my income went to baby formula and diapers. So that's a huge blessing to families, I'm sure. And then so the senior outreach. I saw that on your website. You guys have an outreach. It's called I knew the name of this, at least what it said on the website. Hugs of Love. Yeah. So what is that about?
So I think I lost you. Are you there?
Oh, can you hear me? I can see you.
You can see me?
I see you.
I see you. That's what I get for popping. Oh, well, let's see if I can get back here.
Are you, let's see here.
I lost you for a second. I will find you again. Can you still hear me?
I can. Did you lose the window?
I did.
Oh, okay.
There you are. Okay.
We're back.
All right.
Perfect.
Hugs of Love was formed by Angie Nichols. She's been doing Hugs of Love for many, many years. And when I met Angie about 1.5 years ago, she was looking for a home for Hugs of Love, and I was looking for somebody to come alongside me and help me do some other things too. So we spoke, and we just kind of merged together. And Angie's not been able to go into the nursing homes right now, but obviously because of what's happening. But when she did before, so she goes in and she visits the nursing homes. These are like daily things and she started just giving them hugs. That's it. Just giving them hugs.
Wow.
And the next thing she knew, there was another person waiting outside their door for one day. She came in and everybody was standing outside in their hallway waiting for hugs from her.
Wow.
So, a hug is powerful.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing. And especially in nursing homes, because, some of them just don't get to see family, or some of them don't even have families.
Right.
So then, we started, having things that taking things over, little treats that they could eat or things they could do. But, and so it's really awesome to
Yeah.
see that in part of the ministry, but also, our senior ministry, where it works is we have, we go to the community center here in Sachse, where the senior center is, in which of course they're closed right now as well.
Right.
But once a month I started fixing a lunch for them. And then I realized that, man, I got busy and I couldn't fix that lunch. I was literally checking in a truck, not a trunk, but a truck, and stirring my food in the big pots. And I was like, man, I got to get some help doing this. So some of the ladies from Chase Oaks said, man, we'd like to go over there and make a meal for these. So once a month, they go over and they cook the meal at home, and they take it in these big roasters over there, and they serve the food. And, once every 6 months or so, I might go and speak with them. And some of them need assistance, and some of them are donate food. It's just, they're all different, places, the seniors are, and it's really cool to be able to go over and do that as well. And then we have a senior program.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's a CSFP, which is a special program that's done through North Texas Food Bank, and which we can get additional food to seniors if they qualify. So we have that program as well. So we got quite a few things going on for seniors.
That's great. I know, it's interesting because right now with social distancing and so on and so forth, I think everybody wants a hug right now. So
even if you're not a hugger, everybody wants a hug.
That's right. I think after this is over, you're gonna have to expand that for a little while just so we can all, get back to normal, man. It is wild not being able to interact face to face the way we have been. Hey, Debbie Courtney posted a comment. She says, tell us about your coffee and how it supports the food pantry.
Oh, okay. Glad to do that. So this story is kind of cool, and you probably haven't heard the story about our coffee yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. So I started researching coffee actually long before I started the pantry, which is kind of strange, I know. But I went.
Are you a coffee lover?
Just a tad, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But so I thought, I went on a sister trip with my two sisters, and they asked me one day, they said, what do you want to do? I said, what do you mean, what do I want to do? Like, what I want to do when I grow up, or what? Because, I'm already grown. I said, I don't know. I'd kind of like to sell coffee. And they go, for what purpose? I was like, I don't know. So that would, fast forward about a year and a half later, and I'm researching this different coffee companies. And then all of a sudden, after I started the pantry, and I'm like, what if I get into this pantry thing and I don't get any funds. I can't supply food. I don't have any money to get food. It's not like I had a bunch of people out there waiting to hand me money. Like just happened a while ago. Was that cool or what?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I know what I'll do. I'll bag up coffee and sell it, and then I'll use that money for, and I know people probably thought I was a nut, but that's okay. This whole process, I think, is only just like a dream sometimes. But so I talked to several coffee wholesalers, and nothing really clicked. I'm kind of like one of these people that I feel that if it's gonna work, or it just didn't feel right. And so one day I just Googled, coffee farms in Honduras. I've got a connection in Honduras. I felt connected,
Right.
like not coffee connection, but so and
Yeah.
and this company came up and it was a coffee farm in Honduras, but they were in the United States. I was like, well, that's kind of odd. Oh, they're in Texas. Oh, they're in Tomball. I don't know if you know where Tomball is. It's down by Houston. And
Yeah.
I have an aunt and uncle that live in Tomball. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. So I call her and I begin to speak to her and I tell her about my experience in Honduras. And immediately she starts thanking me.
Wow.
And I was like, that's crazy. She goes, thank you so much for going and loving on those people. They are the poor of the poor. And she just kept telling me how awesome that was. And she asked me where I went and what I did. And she knew exactly where I was talking about. And so there was the connection immediately. And she
Yeah.
said, well, what do you need? What are you looking at? And I said, well, I want to do, coffee. I can't roast it. I don't have a roaster. At that time, I didn't have a roaster. And, and she said, okay, so we struck up a deal and she started roasting coffee for us and shipping it to us. Well, the first time I went down there. And so one of my board members now has kids in Houston. So sometimes they'll go pick up our coffee order down there too.
Yeah.
And, so we just started selling it. So we
So
sell
this
it.
is go ahead. This coffee now you're selling, and that's somehow that's supporting your ministry.
Yes. So we grind and bag it, and it's $10 a pound, and it is a full pound. And we also have whole bean if you want, or we have K cups. The K cups are $5 for a box of 12. So 1 pound of coffee lets us buy 28 pounds of food.
Wow.
And the reason that's so much is because we get it through North Texas Food Bank.
Wow.
And it's really,
I saw that on your site. So I saw on there the $10 will buy 28 pounds of food. So you buy a
right.
bag of coffee, and then that 28 pounds of food is enough food to feed a family of 4 for a week. Is that right?
It's about, if you take 2 bags, will feed a family of 4. 2
Okay.
bags of
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
Incredible.
but since then we had after I started that, I had another church, the Lakes Church over here in Sachse. Their elder and his wife came to tour the pantry shortly after we had been going for a little while, and they just wanted to learn about the pantry and how it was, operating and everything. And I think back on that and I think how funny that was, because I was really nervous and I wasn't getting a reading on them. Nobody was smiling. I was just like talking and nobody was giving any kind of, oh yeah, this is great or anything. And I was like, oh man, this is a flop. I'm like, I don't know how I can connect with them. I don't know how this is going to work. And I got to the coffee part and I said, well, we're roasting, grinding our own coffee. And I said, we have a class, or we're not roasting. I said, we were grinding our own coffee. And we have classes, we have special needs classes that come from the different school systems and they learn life skills here. So I said, that's one of the things that they're learning. And then he immediately, the elder George, he starts grinning. And I was like, I looked at him and I said, well, evidently I hit something. You must like coffee. And he goes, I do. He goes, do you want a roaster? And I was like, what? I said, what do you just have one in your garage or something? He goes, well, no, not really. It's out on my friend's land. Anyway, they had a roaster and they had done previously the exact same thing that we were doing
Really? Wow.
years before though, and they weren't using the roaster anymore. So
amazing.
we roast our own coffee now. He came and taught us how to do it, brought the roaster to us. It's crazy, but right now during this pandemic, we have not been. So we are not roasting our own coffee. We have asked them to roast it for us and ship it to us.
Okay.
Time wise, we don't have time. And we didn't want to go through that whole process. It takes a long time, and you're working in 500 and something degrees with that tumbler. You put a mask on and the temperature, we're just like, no, we'll
Right.
let the company roast it for us for a little while. But
Definitely.
yeah, so we are getting ready to crank our coffee back out. And I mean, we've always got it going. We've got it here at the pantry, and we sell it a couple of places around.
Yeah.
And now that they're hopefully going to open back up a little bit, we'll be able to get it back on their shelves. And
Definitely. Definitely. That's awesome. Well, I think, man, there's so many ways that you guys are blessing other people, and it really is it's incredible. It's inspirational. Very grateful for your leadership, especially during this crisis, and just your commitment to serving people who need to be served. Real quick before before we finish up here, if somebody needs assistance from you guys, maybe they need food or diapers or something like that, what would they do to get assistance from you?
well, they would come on the days, that we're open. So we are open on Tuesdays from 10 to 12. We're open Thursdays, 10 to 12. We're open Thursday evening, 5 to 7. And then we're also open the first and third Saturday of each month from 10 to 12. Now, the system that we have right now, we have on the property, there's an old driveway that says enter, and then the new driveway that says exit. And we've tried to make a loop for them to come around, and they stay in their car, but they'll simply drive up. And if they're new, we still give them food the first time here, and we're going to give them an application to fill out. So when they come back, so the first time they're here, we're going to get a little bit of brief information, what town they're from, their name, of course, just a little bit of information from them. And then when they come back again, they'll have that application filled out for us, and we can take that. And they can get food, they can get diapers, they can get wipes, formula, whatever they need. Sometimes we have adult diapers. We have, numerous things. Sometimes we have pet food.
Yeah. Awesome. And so if somebody wants to support Five Loaves, what kind of ways can people support what you're doing?
Well, of course, they can go on. We have a Sign Up Genius link, and they can go on and volunteer if they want, or they can go to our website, which is fiveloavesfoodpantry.org, and that's the number 5. And they can donate if they like, or if they would like to donate food, they're certainly welcome. And we are here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to take food. Well, we're working pretty much 6 days a week right now, or 7 sometimes.
Yeah.
And but we always are here for deliveries. We try not to take deliveries on the days that we're open for clients, because it just makes a traffic jam out there. And we're kind of limited on that space. So delivery times for foods Monday or in Wednesday from 9 to 4, and then of course Friday from 9 to 2.
Awesome. So those are the delivery days.
I always say I'm gonna leave early on Friday, but it never happens. So.
No. Yeah, and your website is fiveloavesfoodpantry.org, so people can go there and learn more about you. Also, there's a link on your site to give a financial contribution to support your ministry. Audrey, thank you so much for your time today. I think for all of us who've been tuning into this, it's just been incredibly encouraging. One, to learn more about you and your ministry, but also to see how our community is really coming together during this time of great need to meet the needs of people who are in the greatest need. And so really cool. Love your story. Love hearing how God used just simple things, a mission trip, an invite to serve in a certain area, really to just steer you in this direction to make an impact for his kingdom. And so thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and coming along with me on that journey we got to see this afternoon. That was cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, you take care. Okay. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.